What's going on, traders? It's your boy James, back at it again over here at Beastly Trader. Look, if you want to make consistent profits, make sure you like and subscribe to all my videos because you don't want to miss out on any gems. This could be you one day. Alright, let's get right onto it. So today's video is going to be a great video. I'm going to be breaking down my strategy in as many platforms as I possibly can, and I'm going to display some trades just to show you how I would use it. Alright, but first, you know we got to get over this psychology. So, the easiest overtrading solution, all you need is one thing. What describes an overtrader? Trading without any limits and consideration of risk, usually impacted by emotions. Alright? To stop overtrading, you must tackle those two things. Trading without any limits and consideration of risk is going to be the downfall every time. And if you don't get that in check, you're going to blow every account. Trust me when I tell you. So let's go ahead right into the next slide. You want to introduce limits, alright? Having trade and risk limits is the best thing an overtrader can work towards. It truly depends on the type of strategy, but follow an overall structure like one win, you're done trading. One loss and one win, I'm done trading. Two losses, I'm done trading. Or 1% loss, we done. 2% won today, we done. It's just important to know when to stop, and you do this by adding limits. You have to add limits. You have to. Without them, you're just out here throwing money to the wolves. So trust me when I tell you, you want to set limits. Alright, so let's go ahead and get right into the video. Alright, so for all you match traders out there, I'm going to be giving you a strategy that is going to blow your minds. Alright, and then I'm going to show you what I turned this strategy into at the end of the video. And if you're interested in that, make sure you like, share, and subscribe so the next person that don't have this knowledge can see this knowledge. Alright, you can see we're looking at, this is gold on the 1 hour. Alright, just showing you what my strategy looks like, and then I'm going to show you how to set it up. Alright, you got a glimpse? Cool, let's get right into it. Alright, so first things first, you are going to want to add, give me a second here, let me add my indicators back on my screen. You're going to add 3 indicators. And these, well, you're going to want to add 5 indicators. These indicators are going to be the Bollinger Bands, the Moving Average Triple, and the Fractals. And then you're going to add the MACD and the RSI. Alright, so let's get right into each settings. Bollinger Bands, you want to set it for a 34. You want to set it, the multi, for 1.75. For style, you want to turn off the median, and you want to make the upper red and the lower green. Alright, once you do that, you hit OK. Come over here to moving averages. We're not using the first moving average, we're just using the second and the third. So you're going to make the second a 50 blue MA for rejection. So price comes to this level or line or moving average, and you're looking to possibly get out or protect your account or your profits. And then the third period moving average is going to be the 200 moving day average, and this is set for trend. If price is above it, we're looking for buys unless it's at extremes. If price is below it, we're looking for sells unless price is at its extremes. Alright, you hit done, you come down here to fractals, it's automatically set at a 2. You want to make sure you set your down as green and your up as red. I don't know why it's backwards, but it is. Once you do that, it'll show up on the screen like that, showing you new highs and lows. For the MACD, you want to set the MACD to 5, 35, and 5, and then you want to turn everything off, and then you want to come to the histogram and change it from histogram to line. Once you do that, you can do one of two things. You can leave it like this, or how I like to use it is I just like to go like this, you know, but it's cool like this. For the RSI, we are going to set this at a 10 period, and then for the smoothing, we're going to have a 5. The 5 is going to replicate our 50 moving average, alright, and the 10. So the reason why I set my RSI as a 10 is because there's 2 ways you can have this indicator. 3 if you add my way. You have leading and then lagging. Setting it at a 10 puts it in kind of the middle range of that, and basically that gives you present price action. So I call it current. So leading, current, and lagging. Alright, you just hit so we have some levels over here. You want to make sure your plot is green. You want to make sure that moving average, that 5 moving average, is red. Upper limit red, middle limit yellow, lower limit green. From 50 to 65 is seller's range. We're waiting for a cross to happen in this zone to let us know to sell. From 50 to 35, this is a buyer's range. We're waiting for price to get into this area before we start, dictating what happens and look for the buy. I do have other levels set. They're not on this. They're on the MetaTrader. So with the MetaTrader, you'll have an additional level of 88 and 12, and these are your oversold levels. But basically, for my risk management, at 88, I'm hard selling. At 65, I'm soft selling. At 35, I'm soft buying. And at 12, I'm hard buying. So that's my risk management. It depends on what I choose to risk. Whatever the percent I'm shooting for, I break it in half by hard and soft signals, or lines, the levels. So how I would have taken this trade, right? Let me go ahead and get that off the screen. How I would have taken this trade is I would have taken all of my positions either in this little zone. This is seller zone, this is buyer zone. So we would have been looking to get in when price was at his price was at his extremes. It was outside of the bands. We would have looked to do all of that. So like I said, we are currently here in price. So let's talk about what just went down. Price came outside of the Bollinger Bands. I would have looked to enter. Let's line up where we are in the chart. If we drop down to the MACD, you can see that the MACD color has went from buying to selling. And if we look at the RSI, we kind of got a little hiccup here, not too much going on. But it basically rejected the 65. Doing that lets me know that sellers have control. We would have rolled that down to the blue line, and we would have got out, because the blue line signifies that that was range. So in this area was range. We would have got out. We would have waited again. Oh. Price came back out of the band again, and we would have held to the blue line. You can hold or you can secure, but blue line is my get out point. I always go 1-to-1 with my strategy, not because it's not accurate, but because that's just where I have my risk management set. 1-to-1s are good for me. If I held this whole trade and waited until this fractal, see right here it says MACD changed green, and if you look down here on the RSI, price was price was about at 27. So it rejected the 12, and if you see down here why I said 12, so we're in the 20s, right? Price don't look like it'll ever come down to the 12, so we would have counted this as buyer's range as well. Anything under 50 is buyers, anything over 50 is sellers. We would have waited. So now if you would have used my RSI as an entry tool, you would have gotten at this cross and line it up on the main chart as well as the MACD. Main chart shows that that's where price was re-entering the bands. A lot of people wait for the engulfing candle, which is this candle here. This is an engulfing candle because it's more than the last move, so it engulfed back in. And you would have just held until price came back to the bottom Bollinger Band. Or you could have secured here and just let it rock until you got any indication that price was going to come back in. I would have got out the minute this green candle started forming in the wick, and just would have let it rock. So for a buy position, you would have jumped in sometime in this wick, if not this wick. You see that the MACD is green. You see that we got a cross on the RSI from the soft buy line. So I would have risked, let's say 2.5 lots or 3 contracts on futures, because it's 6 for max and 5 for max Forex and future side. So That's for the match trader. I just showed you how to look for sells and buys. I don't need to go any more in it. You can set levels and all of that. How I go about setting my levels, right, is like this, right? If we took this sell, my TP is the next area of where price kind of like stalled at. And in this area where it stalled at, you don't want to sit there. So what happens to the left can happen to the right. Price broke in here, and you see all this rejection here. Price just started wicking right here. Look at the blue line. We're right in that area. I would have got out 1-to-1. Stop loss would have been over most recent high. So this is my high right here. That would where my stop loss would have been, and I would have entered here. You see no drawdown. Same thing if you entered here. Really no drawdown. And even if you entered here, really no drawdown. Enter here, no drawdown. Price just came back in. Excuse me, I have a little cold. Weather is changing and is causing allergies to act up, so I have a little itchy throat, but still here. So same thing with the buy, right? We would have got in, we would have took this trade, we would have gotten in the wicks, and in recent price to the left where it stalled at, as you look, one candle came here, two candles came here, and the third candle came from here. So I would have targeted this zone as my TP. You see that we fell a little bit short, and if anybody knows me from my Discord group, I would have taken 90% anyway. I wouldn't have let it rock all the way out, but I would have been still trying to hold till this line. I would have just waited for a better entry, and that's where this one comes in. So you see that we would have got in somewhere in these wicks, fractal formed, and then boom, we could have jumped in here. If you look, MACD is green, meaning that there is green momentum. And then for the RSI, green above red shows that that's a buy signal, and we would have held that all the way until stop loss. Why? Because recent area of rejection. Price came down and rejected this area. Went back up, came back down, and rejected this area. Shot down, came back up, rejected this area. So I'm targeting this area as my TP zone. Right there. Stop loss. Hit the blue line, rejection line, and we would have got out. No more being in chop. Would have got out. Or would have waited for a better position. Look, buy from outside of price, back to blue line. Sold, back to blue line. Would have probably missed this entry, but let's see where it falls. MACD changed green, and we got a cross of the RSI. This is a valid signal. Would have took that to the blue line and held it. So like I said, that's just that. So that's for all you match traders. Hope you got them indicator settings. Let's go over to MetaTrader for those traders as well. Alright, so I added the Bollinger Bands to this screen. What you can see why it's probably needed to take it off, and I'm going to show you some things that we should probably remove. Alright, so we got a moving average in here. I think it's the red one. We can remove that one. We can remove that moving average. It's here. Oh, hit the wrong button. I'm trying to hit the delete button and delete the indicator, but I keep adding. Alright, let me see. I'm gonna try to delete it now. There it is. Alright, so that takes off the red indicator, and you see that makes things a little bit simpler. A little bit. But you can see, same chart. Price exited the bands. We would have held to a blue line. RSI is giving us some confusion here, but you see that we were in seller zone, and it rejected my levels and fell right on down. MACD was also red. Well, this is the Awesome Oscillator. I use that over the MACD for the histogram. Awesome Oscillator was also red. We would have taken that. Let me help you get this indicator set, this strategy set up. We are going to delete the Bollinger Bands though, because it just makes the screen a little bit harder to look at, and we need to focus on less. So basically, this is where we at. If I was to trade gold right now, I would be looking for a sell shortly. Can't tell you when, but I would be looking for a sell. And basically how you set this up is you want to have a 200 orange moving day, a blue 50 rejection, the fractals, RSI set at 10. Here's my levels. So 25 being hard buy, 23 being soft buy, 65 being soft sell, 75 being hard sell, 88 possible overbought, 12 possible oversold, with 50 being the range or consolidation areas. Right? You got that. That's that. You make that green. And then you want to add a moving average. You want to add a 5. And you want to press apply to first indicator data. That'll move it to the RSI for you. And then you just hit save. Then you want to add the Bollinger Bands. You want to make it a 34. You want to make the deviation 1.75. And you want to make that a purple. Price exits the top or the bottom of the band you're looking to get in. Alright? Then you got the awesome oscillator just set to whatever it is. And then boom, like I said, you just got your MT5 chart set up like me. I know a lot of people are like, oh, okay, this is the hourly. Let's see some 5-minute. Alright, let's see some 5-minute. Boom, look at that. Look at that. Let's use my levels, right? Price came back in the Bollinger Band at the hard sell line. 6 contracts or 5 lots. Boom. And it looked like it was right about here. You would have got in. You would have got in about right there, and you would have held all the way in down to the blue line, which would have been about here. And if you tie that in with the RSI, yeah, it does show sign that we should have held, but I'm out. I would have missed all of this just to catch the buy right here off the soft buy line, which would have been 2.5 lots or 3 contracts. And that looks like this would have been this candle, would have got in on that candle, and I would have held to the blue line. Why I keep holding to the blue line? Look, price is stalling in this area. It rejected it a few times, came back and played in this area. I'm getting out. Yes, it did shoot up, it did go where it went, but I can't cry over profits missed. I can only cry over when I don't take the trade. And it was a good trade. So me going 1-to-1, stop loss would have been this fractal. I got in here on this candle. Stop loss would have been down here in this fractal. And 1-to-1 or 1 to 1.5 would have been the blue line. Alright, so that's that. That's the strategy for MetaTrader. You see, it's just like that. We're waiting for it to reject levels. If you're on MetaTrader, then you're waiting for it to reject levels, because I don't like using the Bollinger Band to tell me when I'm out. But even if I didn't use Bollinger Bands up top, I still have the Bollinger Bands down bottom. Price came here and fell back down. It would have been a quick trade to the blue line, but fell. And the blue line is usually the 50 line. Price rejects in the 50. Simple as that. So, like I said, that's MetaTrader. If you guys have any questions, make sure you leave a comment down below and I'll get right to you. So let's go over to the future side of things for all of you futures traders. Alright, as you can see, you may not be familiar with this platform, but this is Plus500. If you want to trade futures and you don't want to get a prop account, this is probably one of the easiest ways. As an American, just download Plus500, send money from your debit card straight to the account, you're live. You're good to go. Same thing applies here in this strategy though, right? No, it's probably going to give, okay. I want to try to, okay, let me see if I can get a cursor. Crosshair, crosshair. Okay, we can't get a cursor without having all this extra stuff on the screen, so let's do a drawing tool instead. So we'll use this. So you see, oh, price exited, god dang it. Price exited the bands. Down here in the RSI, it was creating green. And you can see that it was bouncing off. You could have entered in the bands down here. And you could have ride that back to the blue line. See how that played out. Price stalled in this area before giving us a sell signal here, because price exited the band, and we would have held further down. So doing some drawing tools here. Yep. Alright, so I want to come in here and show you these indicators. I want to get rid of that. Oh, I think that was the 5 on the RSI. I meant to get rid of this one. Alright, so let me see. I have to add a exponential moving average. Let me see. Can I go in here? Nope. Add exponential moving average. Close. I am going to apply it to the RSI, and I'm going to make it a 5. Right? Submit. Cool. Alright, so yeah, so the way you set this up is, like I said, 200 moving average, 10 RSI. The fractal is set at 5. I should have it set to a 2, like it matches everything else. Fractals is now set to a 2. Bollinger Bands is set to 34. Deviation is set to 1.75. Alright, as well on both RSI and regular. Then I have a 5 EMA. I should probably change that to smooth, but for now it is what it is. You can find smooth or just find regular and make it work from there. And then you just got the 2 fractals. So I'm gonna drop down in time frame so you can see its accuracy. Alright, it does show you a lot of fractals. I guess that's why it was set to 5. And now that should look a lot cleaner. Boom. Alright, cool. Drawing tool. Price exited the Bollinger Bands here. You can see down here in the RSI, it created like some red steam up here, red cloud, and that let us know to hold all the way into the blue line. We're looking to hold the blue line solely because, look, let's zoom out a little bit. Draw tool. See, everywhere price came, it rejected the blue line. It not rejected, but it played in that area of the blue line. So if we was taking this trade, blue line would have been all of this. I would have been getting out safely. Yeah, it would have fell and continued, but I would have came down here to try to look for the buy. And if you see price exited the band, looks like about somewhere in these candles, about here, I would have got in right there. If you look down at the RSI, you see that there's a green cloud. And yeah, we would have just held that back to the rejection line, this level, on the 5 minute. Not recent level, here. And it shows you that. Alright? So like I said, that's basically how I do things. Alright? So I have the Bollinger Band set here. I kind of didn't want to have the yellow in, but I kind of had no choice, so it just closed. And that's basically the strategy for Plus500. Now let me show you what I've turned all of this into, so you can see the progression I've made with using my strategy. I basically tried to automate it, and I still am. Take a peek at this. Alright, and here is my custom coded indicators. I'll show you. And put the indicators back on the screen. Titles, save. So with here you got, I have my Super Bollinger Bands and I have my Super TDI. Alright, see these clouds that the TDI is talking about here? It's showing you accurate momentum and volatility in the RSI. So we're down here, it's in the green, we're expected to wait for a buy signal. We got a fake out here, but price just exited the band up here. So we would have rolled it back in, could have got that, probably would have took more drawdown, but like I said, I would have probably waited a little bit more. I would have took that little small scalp down here and got out, and then I would have took this one as well. Price came up, shot up into the seller zone, we would have exited, and if you pay attention, it's all near that blue line, right? Yeah, so I'm using the Kanashi candles to help me see trend and reversals. They're good with moving, they're good with momentum and averages. Alright, so that's why I use them over the regular candles, because you can't really see the momentum until the move has already happened, or unless you're playing rejection levels. So yeah, you come down here, I'm gonna drop down in time frame, show you the 5-minute, because that's where I've been, and you can see, right? Boom. Got to cross here on the RSI. RSI crossed above rejection line, and it's in the green zone, so we are to expect it. Expect a buy signal, and look at that trade. Look up. We caught that small candle, got in there, could have got in when price exited the Bollinger Band, but that's the confirmation. And we would have just held that into the blue line. Price could have did whatever it did. You could have secured at the blue line at least half your trade, let it rock into this level, and then secured the blue line. So a lot of times when I set my stop losses and take profits, right? Look at that. If I'm marking the blue line, right? Price held up in this area a lot, and that is how I know that that line, that level is an area of importance. Even if you look to the left, right? Let me just get that off the screen. Look to the left. This is the blue line. Look to the right. Price came right back to this level and rejected it. What happens to the left can happen to the right, all right? And if it does happen to the right, then you are looking to get out. You're not playing this by what you want. You're playing this by what it is. These are the levels that it is. So I'm holding until price gets to these reaction levels, all right? So like I said, my indicators are really good. A lot of people think that you can just take the signals, which you can. You can just take the signals, but that's a little bit confusing just to take them and then see all of this right here. So, and then you see all of this, it's going to make you want to get out. The stop loss would have been the high. And then if you would have got out, you would have missed out on all this move. Look, fake out buy here, right? Fake out buy. We're still waiting. Price is declining, came all the way to the rejection line, broke through the rejection line, but it failed to break this level here. And that is where we know we would have got out to start looking for other trades, because price exited the bands, and it from creating this candle to this candle, you would have entered. It's just that simple. Just that simple. Having my system has the capability to forecast. We're looking for tops and bottoms. So tops and bottoms looks like this. That's considered a top, and this is considered a bottom. That's considered a top, and this is considered a bottom. Top and bottom of the Bollinger Band. So you'll never forget that. So like I said, I just wanted to display my strategy amongst 3 platforms, 4 including Tradingview, and I wanted to show you that you can use this on gold as well as other pairs. Like if I scrolled through and just gave you a glimpse, if I showed through and just gave you a glimpse, look at that. You would have got in on this early trade about here, somewhere in this area, and you would have held it down. I don't like to trade EUR because it ranges more than it does anything. So I like to trade AUD USD because it trends more than it ranges. You see what's going on. Price came, and this is the 1 hour. Rejected the blue line, and you would have held. Price is under the 200, you would have held. All of that. Even if you would have bought here, you would have held all the way into the blue line. Good to go. Let me show you the sell from time on, right? Look, signal fired right when price was exiting. So you probably, if you set it to as bar open, you would have been outside of band. If you set it to as bar close, you would have got it when this candle formed. And if you look down at the RSI, right where we are currently standing, we got a cross in the red zone, which means sellers got it. Would have held. Flat bottoms and flat tops. Let's talk about that on these candles, right? A flat top looks like that, and it means momentum is certified. We got some shaky weather here that lets me know that there's an area of play. A lot of wicks here. A lot of wicks. We almost got a flat bottom, which means buying pressure. Got some more movement. came all the way up but rejected this level before creating another flat bottom to go back down. So flat bottoms and flat tops, they signify that this move currently is definite. So like I said, I just wanted to show you and display my strategy amongst all 4 platforms. Let's go ahead and get this video and wrap it up, alright? And before I let you go, you know we got to end this video with some more psychology, alright? Here's 6 signs to step away from trading. If you think about ignoring your rules when trading, you need not trade. If you've been staring at the charts for way too long and your eyes are getting dry and you're starting to feel dizzy, it's time to step away. If you want to risk too much on a trade and the motivation is emotional, which is like fear of missing out or revenge trading, you want to just walk away. All right? If you are desperately looking for a trade, so you browse pairs and try to come up with something, or you're trying to come up with something, you want to just walk away. It's not worth it. And then if you just not feeling well, like you're under the weather or your mental is just clouded, or you got some personal things going on in life, don't trade. It's just going to affect you on the charts. And then last but not least, if you see another trader into a trade, so you also try to get in. A lot of times when people do that, like signal providers giving signals to telegrams and discords, you're probably getting in too late. Getting the signal confirms the movement, but you don't know when that signal was executed. It could have been executed at rejection or at reversal before it actually played out. Could have cooked your account a little bit and then the move happened. So that's why these are the 6 signs that you have to step away from trading. So like I said, I didn't want to keep you too long. I just wanted to go over everything as quickly as I possibly could. If by any chance you want to get access to my indicators, feel free down in the comment section to message me and let's get acquainted. Alright, I hope I gave you some gems in this video by giving you this strategy. This strategy can be used on a wide range of pairs. It can be used on a wide range of time frames and with a wide range of candles. So, like I said, test it out. Let me know how your results is. You can either message me in my Discord group on Reddit, or you can message me through email, or you can just comment down below. Or heck, you ain't even got to do anything. If you got a good trade off of my strategy, just like the video. I am not stressed at all. Trust me when I tell you, I am not stressed. So like I said, I hope you guys are all well. I hope you guys are all blessed. I hope we're all not coming down with this little allergy colds that's going around right now. And if you are, may you get well. So again, I thank you for your support and I appreciate you watching this video. Feel free to do anything you want. But if you do anything in this world, make sure you always rock your smile. So thank you, and you traders have a blessed day. On to the next video.